we're here today at a place which is kind of special. Now, we're here in the middle of the winter, and as you can see, it's quite a desolate site. In the summer, this is absolutely gorgeous. It is absolutely covered with green. There are ducks and there are swans and there are all sorts of birds in the canal here. And this is a canal that goes through a little town in Yorkshire called Mexborough. Most of you know I've been kind of adopted by Mexborough, and I've been kind of adopted by the people of Dennerby and Conisborough, which are all the towns nearby. And they've been absolutely brilliant to me. They've gone out of their way to help me and support me through various quite nasty times in my life. Now, I'm actually doing this partly on behalf of a very, very good mate of mine who just happens to be one of the local councillors. And I hope he's going to watch this, and I hope he's going to enjoy it. And hopefully, Sean, you're not going to actually go ballistic and say it's a load of old crap. If you do that, well, I'm buggered. But anyway, partly for Sean Lord Gibbons, also for the other Mexborough First candidates. And just to put a little political word in here, I kind of think some of the current members of Parliament who are playing games with our lives need to kind of listen to what those guys have got to say, because they are the representation of the people. They don't actually forget that they come from the people. When I needed help, Sean got out of his backside, he came out and he took me around in his van, helping me to pick stuff up, bring stuff back to my house. So, really good guy. But that really isn't the major point of us being here today. The major point of us being here today is an obscenity called HS2. Now, behind me there is an absolutely brand new, bright and shining estate, which as you can see has just been built. Now, this estate has actually got more buildings and more houses to be built, but they're actually not building anymore. And the reason is that HS2 is going to seam right the way through here, and it is absolutely going to destroy this housing estate. Not all the houses are going to be pulled down, but the ones that aren't are going to have a dirty great big multi-storey flyover flying straight through. Now, I'm trying not to be funny with this because it's meant to be a serious thing, but humour has to come into everything with me, as I think you guys are beginning to realise. And the humorous side of it is that we've got a bunch of upper class twits who sit in Parliament and don't actually get that this thing is 200 years out of date. I got a friend of mine who works for SNCF, which is the French railway company, who've already got rapid transport. Okay, they've had it for 50, 60 years. And that friend of mine, who's a top engineer with that organisation, said, why the hell are they building it? Because it's out of date. It's not needed. The technology that people have at hand today can actually do every single thing that they're expecting this high-speed railway to do. It's not needed. It's not necessary. Instead of investing all this money in something nobody wants, including businesses and all the people that you're trying to justify it by using, invest that money in the infrastructure of the current railway system, and then we'll actually see a massive improvement in that, and we'll actually get somewhere. The other thing is, little comment for the Conservative government, okay, you can actually be popular for once. You can do something that the entire country is going to get behind you and say, you know what, that's a good one. You can actually scrap HS2. Just knock the thing on the head, because it was a Labour plan. You're not even going to lose any pace. Okay, you might have a few mates that are going to lose a few quid. Tough tits. It's their bad luck. They made a mistake. It's called investment. And I'm told when I put my few pence into my bank account or into an investment, it can go up and it can go down. In this case, tough shit, it's gone down. It's not only has it gone down, it's collapsed. And you lost cash. Tough. Okay. Now, I'm getting a bit back to my normal humorous ranty self, and I'm going to do a bit more like that. Because if you look behind me, okay, you see this canal which goes right the way through. Now this canal might look to you to be completely dead and useless, but it actually isn't. There are still boats that travel on it. Okay, most of those are now tourist boats, but every week there's a huge oil tanker that actually comes up the canal and goes all the way through. And I've only ever seen it once, and I tell you what, it is mind-blowing. It's brilliant, right? But all this stuff is just going to be destroyed by HS2. Just around the corner, there's a new group of houses being built. Again, they're going to be blighted by having this damn great stupid railway going straight across their heads. Now, that's a shame. Oh, tough. Well, no, actually, it's a bit more than tough, because for those of you who don't live in the world we live in, i.e. members of Parliament, okay, people who bought these houses behind me, and the people that are buying those houses there, and the people who actually invested in their homes down there, and some of them are drop dead gorgeous, okay, they have taken every single thing that they have worked their entire lives for, and they've invested in that. And basically what you're saying is, forget it, we're going to compensate you. Unfortunately, the compensation that these people are being offered is unrealistic. It's meant to be market price plus a percentage. Actually, it's not. Because the market price they're judging it by is with the blighted charges on it and nobody wanting to buy the houses. They should be doing is giving them their purchasing price at the very least, plus 20%, even more than that, and their legal expenses. But there again, I don't live in your world where it's all about having hundreds of thousands of pounds, millions of pounds to play games with. Right? Stop playing games with people's lives and grow up. A last quick message to all politicians who might be stupid enough to watch it. Yeah? People like Sean Gibbons and his two partners are the future. Because unless you start waking up and realising it, it's going to be independent MPs who are going to win seats at the next election. It's not going to be Labour, it's not going to be Conservative, it's not going to be Liberal Democrat. It's going to be independents. Because the people of this country have absolutely, totally and completely had enough of the party politics that we've got in this country now. We're fed up with morons. We had a great example of that on Question Time this week. Right? So let's get real. Start looking at what people want, and people in this area, and I love Yorkshire. Thank you, by the way, guys, for adopting me. I love it. Although I am a Cornishman and I'm fanatically proud of that. But thanks for adopting me. And if this in any way, shape or form helps to put the argument forward, and if anybody actually watches it and it gets a bit broader audience, brilliant. Because let's start being funny, but let's be funny by supporting bloody Yorkshire and supporting our country, supporting our people, and let's get rid of HS2.